Hello, I'm Bruce Lorincz, and this show is called Bruce on the Loose. I talk to people in city government, the school system, and businesses and corporations here in Wadsworth. Tessa Blake is with us today, and she's associated with Soprema Senior Center, and Lori Wilkinson, she is the director of the Soprema Senior Center. Ladies, thank you very much for joining me today. And Tessa, you've been kind of an intern helping out at the center this summer. Where are you going to college currently?
So I go to Bowling Green State University.
All right, and what would your major be?
Tourism, hospitality, and event management.
Boy, I think in the last several years that has really blossomed. And how many people would you say would be in that major? Quite a few, right?
Yeah, honestly, I meet new people every day. I have classes with different people, so it definitely is a growing major and a growing career.
That's fantastic. How did you find out about the position opening at Soprema?
So my dad works for the electric department here in the City of Wadsworth, and I've always known they do summer employment for college students. And this was the first year that they did it for the Soprema Senior Center. And so I saw the event planning and all of that kind of stuff, and I applied and went through the interview process, and then, yeah, been working here since May. So
fantastic. I did watch your dad, very fine wrestler here at Wadsworth, and your mom, I think, teaches at Norton.
Yes, she does.
I've been around the block a couple times, and they were very, I didn't see them in the office. They didn't get in much trouble, but I'm sure you made up for that. What about after graduation? What are your goals?
So I think it would all depend on job opportunities and financial situations, but my ultimate goal is to work in events and with people. I think the ultimate dream of mine would to be able to travel for a couple of years after college and find a position that allows me to do so. And then after that, be more stationary, settle down. Don't know where yet, but we'll see.
So you have no specific area or of the country? Have you would end up in California or Florida?
I won't be able to go that far. I'll probably be more local, I would assume, but yeah.
Lori, I imagine Tessa has really helped out and done a lot of little things to make the Soprema Senior Center even more successful.
Yes, Tessa has really brought some sunshine to the Soprema Senior Center this summer. She has helped with so many different things behind the scenes. There's so many things that go on with different kind of tasks like that. But then also, she's been behind the mic. She's called bingo a few times. She's helped with programs, helped with technology. And then we're known for our events. And we've had some big summer events this summer. Our sock hop, she got to help with, played a really key role in our car show and North Pole Crafters Market. She kind of helped organize the whole craft show part of that, was a huge help with that. And now we're getting ready for this week. We're having our Love Boat Cruise Party. And so from planning behind the scenes to decorations to all sorts of things, our programming, she's been such a help.
So it's a lot of different events, and it probably gives her some ideas on some other things she might coordinate in other places.
Absolutely, absolutely. We've told her, keep a portfolio of the things she's worked on, things she's done. Her picture is actually in our current newsletter as part of our staff team for the summer, and the things she has learned and got to experience this summer, especially working with the public, and she has a very kind heart, and seniors have really enjoyed having her as part of our staff this summer.
Speaking of the newsletter, I have one in hand right now and can't believe the number of programs. I remember a couple years ago that you had quite a few, but nothing like this number of events and for a different group. I mean, if you have medical issues, there's if you playing cards, there's those groups. If you want to read, the library has programs. I mean, it's just a plethora of activities and events.
Well, I have to credit an amazing staff for that. Tammy Reddish, our activity volunteer coordinator, has been on staff over 2 years. Amy Rook-Smith has been on staff now over 2 years. And we've been able to really expand what we do, meeting the growing membership population that we're experiencing. And so, yes, we have expanded. You'll notice some of the newsletter write-ups have gotten smaller because we have so much more to include. Amy played a really big part in reformatting that. Tammy is always bringing in new programming. So working as a team, we're really proud of that. And looking forward to January, we're going to be expanding our newsletter by 4 pages because we cannot fit everything in. So that's the first announcement about that, but that's something we're looking forward to.
Collaboration. It seems like you really believe in that. And if you have various people involved, they may see something that you may have missed in your mind, or maybe you're doing something for the first time and you want to make a splash to the senior citizens, and they have really responded in the Soprema, haven't they?
Absolutely. We love collaborating. We're always open to innovative ideas, new opportunities for seniors, whether it's education or experiences. And we heavily rely on our professional friends. We have over 100 professional friends that are help us with different things, whether it's sponsoring programs or coming up with new ideas. And that is something we really, truly value. Along with volunteers. We have over 100 senior volunteers helping on a daily, multiple times throughout the year and throughout the day. So that we could not do what we do without our volunteers.
Tessa, this is really hands-on learning. I mean, with the car show and with some activities coming up, walking challenge is one of my favorites. There's certainly a point where you really can learn a great deal by getting involved with the senior citizens.
Absolutely. My third day on the job, I remember it was the baseball wash party, and I had to throw baseballs behind my back over my head. And from that moment on, I was like, this is going to be a fun job. But yeah, every day never looks the same, and that's what I love about the job. There's always something new. I mean, it's the same people most of the time, but it's just been a complete blast this summer. Very hands-on, yeah.
Yeah, what are some of the things you can maybe put your finger on that you've really learned from your, you in Bowling Green, a lot of classes you take and, information that professors give you, but this is the real world, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Like Lori was saying, bingo especially, that's hands-on, and it's cutthroat bingo.
Right.
But I also did a lot of marketing. So at the beginning of the summer, I went to Medina with Tammy, and then me and Lori went to St. Ed's, that kind of marketing in person, and then working with Amy on flyers and just advertising in general. That was something I did not really think about before getting this position. I've learned a lot from that. And overall, just working with the team. I mean, great staff, small but mighty, but it has been so much fun and collaborating with them and ideas and planning. So.
Growing up and graduating in Wadsworth, did you have any idea of the amount of programs that Soprema Senior Center offers to our residents?
So I knew that we had a senior center, and I actually did the Senior with Senior luncheon in the spring of my senior year.
Sure.
And so I knew the senior center was here. I didn't really get involved with it that much, but then after working here, it is insane. There's something for everybody and more.
There's no question.
Yeah, it's amazing. The amount of activities and events and different programs and all that, it's amazing.
What I like, seniors might be involved in one activity. They might tell someone else, a friend or someone lives down the street, hey, get involved in, the book chat or do, the activities coming up, and, they once they come, they'll come back for more activities, I would imagine.
It's very social.
Yeah, very, very much so. What about, Lori, what about the newsletter? We talked a little bit about that. How do you add a new program?
That's a great question. So Tammy really does a great job working with professional friends. hearing needs of seniors, what seniors may be interested in, and then coming up with new ideas. There's a lot of planning that goes into this. Right now, we're already planning through the end, believe it or not, of 2024 and beyond. We've already been talking some things in the spring. So we plan months and months ahead to make what we offer happen. And so that is something, we keep our eyes open for opportunities coming up, education. We'll reach out to different organizations and try to have a really nice scope so there's something for everybody.
How about suggestions from the seniors themselves? Someone comes in, maybe, there was someone that was with Muffins with the Mayor from out of state. And she said that she had a question for the mayor. And, we think that people may move from Worcester or Medina, but there are people coming to Wadsworth from out of state with some ideas.
Oh, absolutely. We have seniors joining and moving to Wadsworth from New England, from out west. And so when we offer different things like having people from city administration, like our mayor, come in, it gives them an opportunity to get to hear, or coffee with the cop, and having our police chief coming in. New seniors that are moving to Wadsworth have the opportunity to meet some of the leaders in our community, which is really nice.
Hey, any events coming up around the corner in the fall?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So maybe shut down after July.
We have so many things. I'll touch on your favorite because you did mention walking challenge.
Yes.
So that is something that anybody can participate in. It runs from September 1st through October 31st. And the walking challenge kickoff is August 30th at 10 o'clock. And we are planning for 175, 200 seniors to participate this year. It has actually become a movement. And what is so nice is whether you're someone out there walking a couple miles a day, or maybe you've just recovered from knee or hip surgery and it may take a few days to walk a mile. Every mile counts, so you can be part of that group goal. We have we reached over 25,000 miles last year, which was just incredible. And we had 164 walkers. So we're expanding that goal. We have a big surprise to announce at the kickoff on August 30th. So if you're watching this and you want to learn more about our walking challenge, come on out August 30th at 10 o'clock for our kickoff. Think pep rally. And if you can't make it, sign up so we know you're participating, and you can stop in and get a startup bag, your walking log, and you record your miles. Every time you get miles down, there's a daily log, and you report them. We call it Miles on Monday. You can email them to us. You can call them in. We have a station in the cafe. You can hand them in person. We have walkers that like all three different ways to communicate those. And then behind the scenes, we track those miles. And we have a big celebration in November where we do the big mileage reveal. Our wonderful mayor and her husband, they are part of it. They're going to be doing our big reveal again. But we'll be sending out really motivational emails every week. And it takes 2 months to really get a habit going. And it's amazing how seniors at the end of this, their blood pressure's gone down. They've lost weight. Their stamina has improved. So it's just a really great thing anybody can participate in.
And you don't just have to walk around Wadsworth. I'm going to the state of Washington, and I'm going to take my form with me and walk there. And I was in Europe. I sent a picture back a couple years ago in London, and went ahead and walked. And you don't just have to walk in Medina County. You can go elsewhere. And the fall is so beautiful to walk. It's September, October, isn't it?
It sure is. We've just loved walking in the fall, and we have, walkers, they'll send us pictures of foliage they've seen. But you're right, you walk on your own, so you can walk indoors, outdoors, on vacation, while you're mowing your lawn, that counts, walking a dog, just it's your personal goal. So some people count their miles from the, steps from the time they hit the floor until, they go to bed at night, where others, they wait until it's an intentional walk, and that's what they want to count. and it's everybody's personal choice, personal goals, but it helps us reach our group goal.
You know, I've noticed a change in Soprema Senior Center. Years back, it didn't seem like you had a lot of big events and big speakers like Sharon Ray, our representative, Chief Claffin, and the fire chief, Chief Linder. Those were standing room only activities. And the mayor, you have to go early to get a seat. Does that make you feel really happy?
It really does. Having, we kind of have a quarterly celebrity guest in that it is really great because it's wonderful to hear from, we've had, Senator Dolan, we're going to be having Congressman Max Miller coming in the fall, and just being able to hear from those that represent Medina County, represent Wadsworth, and to be able to ask questions and get that education. The Wadsworth Older Adults Foundation, they always provide, a sweet treat. So like in the fall, we're doing croissants with the congressman. We did muffins with the mayor, like you said. So we're it's a way to gather, get to hear the latest on what's going from our leadership, local and abroad, farther than that, and then ask questions. And it's something seniors have enjoyed.
Tessa, how does it make you feel where some of these activities are just being planned and you're right in the middle of it, with probably suggestions and ideas that maybe are fresh that we haven't thought about before? How does that make you feel?
It's been so fun. Like Lori was saying earlier, being involved in the planning process is it's a great opportunity, and it takes a team in order to plan an event, and there are so many details that go into even a small event like a little Zoom class like we have Storytime with Wade. There's planning that goes along with every single event. And so it has just been amazing to be able to work with such amazing women that know the ins and outs of what we are doing at the Senior Center. And yeah, it's been amazing. Yeah,
during COVID also, not only were you physically here, but also, at least in the book chat, there were people at home viewing it. So, it was kind of skewed. You think maybe there were 9 people there, but really there might have been 15.
Yeah.
So, it's really, Soprema Senior Center has really adapted to the times.
Yeah, for sure.
What about, let me see, what else did I want to ask you? Networking. Again, you've met and you've worked with the 3 amigos, as I would call them, and, they would go ahead and maybe write a letter of recommendation for you. Is that significant to you?
Absolutely. One of the things that I really noticed about here is the professional friends. There are so many of them, and I've gotten the opportunity to talk to multiple of them and not only get my name out there, but also learn them and their industry of work and their careers too. That might not be the exact same as mine, but the thing about events is that you are so involved with other people, and there's a lot of people that get involved with events. And so it has just been amazing to meet new people and learn more about other careers and that kind of thing.
Lori, how is the Soprema Senior Center financed?
That's a good question. So we are a department of the City of Wadsworth. Mm-hmm. So that is, takes care of our staffing, the building, different things like that. And then we have a little bit of a program budget, things like that. But for the extras, we have the Wadsworth Older Adults Foundation. They're our 501c3. And they do so much for us. They provide funding for additional things when we want to plan events. A lot of if you notice the front of our building, we have that beautiful entryway with the covering. We have
the awning.
Yep, that beautiful awning.
Yeah, it is.
We have the all the furniture inside the cafe that we've been able to improve on.
Yeah, you've donated some of the furniture I see upstairs
to the
outside the YMCA.
Absolutely. They've recently just made a really significant technology purchase for us, so that we have a nice camera to enhance our programs. We can simulcast programs into the activity room when our cafe is full for big events. The big screen TVs that we use on a regular basis for programs and for Zooming, things like that. In fact, when I mentioned the new camera, we have started our own show called Aging Well in Wadsworth. This is Your Life, and you were our very first guest. So
I was roped into it, but whatever.
So that is something, we have seniors that want to share their story, so it gives them an opportunity to do that. But the Wadsworth Older Adults Foundation, they're a backbone of what we do, and we're so thankful for them and for the support of the community. Everybody's is hearing now about 12 Days of Christmas, the big fundraiser that's happening this fall and into the end of the year, and we're very thankful for them and all that they do.
Tell us a little about, for new people, since we every month have new people joining Soprema Senior Center, what is 12 Days of Christmas?
So the 12 Days of Christmas, that is a fundraiser. The Wadsworth Older Adults Foundation, they have the first 2 weeks in December, every weekday, they have a Christmas raffle. There's the basket, they're kind of what we call baskets, but they are full of gift cards from purchased by area businesses, not donated, they're purchased, because we have some amazing sponsors of 12 Days of Christmas that sponsored $500 each, and that money is used to give back to businesses and buy those gift cards. And then we raffle off 12 Christmas bag baskets during the first 2 weeks of December, full of gift cards. And to buy a ticket for 12 Days of Christmas, it's literally $10, and that gets you entered into all 12 drawings. And the drawings they take place on Wadsworth Radio each morning, those first 2 weeks of December.
So again, collaboration using
Wadsworth
the radio.
Yes, which is great. The sponsors are featured on there. And then the last drawing will be actually coming up Friday, December 13th. And at noon in the cafe, our mayor will be sponsoring, drawing the last 3 baskets live in the cafe, and there'll be a wonderful ham dinner, and we'll have some music, and it'll be a really nice event. So,
Tessa, I need to ask you this question: why do you think Soprema Senior Center is so popular?
I think there's something for everybody there, and I also think that it's the amazing staff, because people come in with a smile on their face because they're greeted by people that want to be at work. And I also think that it's a social aspect too, because people come in and they see the same people, or they come in every Monday to play bunco. And I think it's social, I think they feel needed and wanted, and it's an amazing atmosphere.
I don't know if you ever watched the TV show Cheers. Everyone knows your name. You come in, Lori's there, Tammy, hey Bruce, how you doing? I mean, that alone makes you feel really good that you are somebody and you're kind of important.
Yes, exactly.
What about, Lori, I wanted to ask you one other thing. What about the desk cover? You come in right away and you have to go ahead and put your plug in and make sure they know it's you, and make sure you do that each and every time. That's important. Mm-hmm. But the desk right in front, so they talk to you or direct you where you're going to go, and that frees you to do some other very important things. But again, volunteers. Yes. 100 volunteers.
Yes, we have over 100 volunteers that help us from setting up for programs, leading programs. Like you said, our front desk volunteer is manned by 2 different volunteers every day, morning, afternoon shift, and those volunteers, they are greeters. The first people you see as you come through the door. Our volunteers are very positive, welcoming, and as our members come in, which it's free for anybody 55 or better, we do have a kiosk with your key tag. So just like coming into the Y, you just click in. That helps us take attendance for where you're going to go. You can select on this screen if you're there for a program or going in the cafe. So that helps us and enters them into a monthly drawing as well. But it takes so many volunteers to do what we do. And one of those things that we're scheduling volunteers for is our huge event, the biggest event of the year, coming up on October 11th. It's our Senior and Caregiver Expo, which we have the flyer right there sitting on the table.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so that...
Are there probably 10 or 12 different groups coming in?
Oh, we are expecting 100 plus this year.
That's a little bit off.
Yes, that's we host it in it's in the senior center, but the main part of the event is in the gym area. All 4 courts are reserved for Friday, October 11th. We have a really fun theme this year. It's at the movies, lights, camera, aging well. And we will have close to 100-ish tables, maybe even more there. And it's a free event for seniors and caregivers. So it's a really great place. If you're taking care of a loved one, a parent, or someone, you're welcome too. But it's one place to get information from all different agencies, organizations that help seniors, and it's free, and there's giveaways just about every table. It's wonderful.
What date is it again?
It's Friday, October 11th from 10 to 1.
Tessa, did you have anything to do with that? Were you involved in the planning?
It's still being planned.
Okay,
it's a process.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, so I'll be back hopefully October, I think it's 7th and 8th. So I'll be helping with the last minute prep. Yeah.
Wow, fantastic. So you're saying that sometimes your events, things happen at the last minute.
Oh, for sure, yeah. And things happen day of too. You always have to be ready.
Okay, so that you got that out of one of your classes, or you kind of learn that
hands-on
hands-on
learning.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah.
Anything you want to, talk to people or thank the community for this opportunity?
Yeah, this has just been the best experience, and I am more than thankful to have the opportunity to not only work with the 3 amazing women that I have been working with, but along with the 100 volunteers and the people that are in daily. It has just been amazing, and yeah, I'm going to be sad to leave, but I'll be back. So. But
it's in your field. I mean, it's not like you're digging ditch
or
something.
No,
it's right. It fits right with your occupation.
Yes. It has helped me so much, and I'm very excited for what I'm going into.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining me today. Lori, thank you as always. And thank you for viewing Bruce on the Loose. We learned a lot about the Soprema Senior Center, and we have a lot of fine activities coming up. Hope you get involved. Thanks for viewing.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.